Greetings. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am Nicole Everett, and we're here today at Nefetari's. And my very special guest is the chairman of the Leon County Board of County Commissioners, Chairman Bill Proctor. Welcome.
Thank you, Nicole.
So glad to have you.
It's good to be here.
Good,
Thank you.
good. So, Tampa born, Tallahassee raised, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You went to Howard University
I did that.
in Washington, D.C. We won't hold that against you.
Well, now, I appreciate that.
HBCU love.
Absolutely.
And then to Boston for divinity
Yes, ma'am.
and to law school as well, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So back in Tallahassee, what keeps you here?
Well, I love Tallahassee. It's the perfect place to be. We have great weather during the winter. We have great people. We have two universities, Tallahassee Community College to boot. We have government. And when you have that much intellect coalesced in one setting, it's compelling. It's a miniature Washington, D.C. It's a miniature Boston. It's an intellectual center. And you know, when you know the population at over 40 adults, out of every 100 adults, 40 hold college degrees in Tallahassee, you can communicate and get along. There's a large community for intellectual-minded people.
Excellent. Thank you. So most recently, you have been a proponent of the decriminalization of marijuana. And particularly since this is a college town, and those students that might find themselves as a first-time offender, this would assist in their record not being so heavily blemished. Just talk to me a little bit more about that.
Well, marijuana has not been proven to the level which alcohol. There are no mothers against marijuana. There are mothers against drunk driving. Marijuana has proven to be of medicinal importance, so much so that the state of California has adopted it. 6 states now, I believe, in the union have adopted marijuana for medicinal value. And here in the state of Florida in November even, Floridians would be given the opportunity. The last election, 58% of the citizens voted for it. That's the majority. But for it to go into the constitution of the state, it needs 60%. The last polling numbers show that 80% of the people favored making marijuana of medicinal use. So the effort here was to make 20 grams or less. I proposed that the county commission would adopt an ordinance that would make 20 grams or less marijuana a misdemeanor. I'm sorry, a civil citation.
Yes.
Civil citation. And currently we have a program which gives the officers the discretion. I don't think officers should have that discretion on who behaved well, because your child or mine may be interpreted, but it's just a subjective standard. We don't need subjectivity. Get a scale. If you have 20 grams or less, then a person gets a civil citation. So that was the proposal. Studies are showing that for the value of people going to jail, we spend $65 a day for people to be housed in jail. Over a couple joints is not worth it. The cost-benefit analysis for using marijuana and what it costs to society. It takes manhood, womanhood. It disrupts our families. It disrupts our communities. It stops income. If you get a little record, you can't get a job. It just impairs you and messes you up for the balance of your life. So we don't need something that's just, you know, the boogeyman. And no studies have shown what marijuana has in no way been likened scientifically to what cigarettes do. And so if cigarettes are on the market with a disclosure that cigarettes are bad for your health, I mean, the scientific community is asking and saying that marijuana is good for your health in some instances. And even our legislature recently, this past year, adopted a bill, a state statute now, that for persons who are in the terminal stages of illness, that you can use marijuana to help relieve conditions of suffering.
Okay, well, speaking of illness, let's transition on to mental health. I know that's something that you have taken on as well. Recently, you had a community forum, and a number of people came out to to discuss some mental health issues of their family members, loved ones, and their own personal experiences with that. So tell me a little bit about that initiative and where we are with that.
Well, we're gathering a community which heretofore has been reticent to come out and speak and say, well, you know, my child is this and my brother is this. And these are things which we suffer alone. We suffer isolated. We just bear the cross of this particular illness. And people are on medications. I mean, I take medications every day for diabetes. Some people take injections. A man told me the other day he has to shoot himself in the stomach with a needle. People taking everything. So if you have an imbalance of certain chemicals and you need for that balance to occur, that your thoughts, your vision, all of those things, your thinking, your function. I mean, in America, we get help for a lot of things. We go to the dentist. I mean, you can work on your foot, a podiatrist. I mean, you got a name for them. The bone doctor, the ear, nose, and throat specialist. But we act like the mind is not a part of the body, or there is some reason to be ashamed. When you go to the OB/GYN for a certain part of your body, I mean, people do go for that specific part.
They do.
So if there can be challenges there, and there are sometimes, certainly your mind is a part of your body. So, but for that part, there's a lot of shame, stigma, and all like that. So I just think that it's time. You know, the LGBT movement is coming out. Women are stepping to power. Hillary Clinton is stepping to become a new symbol of power for women. It's time for this other thing, illness, to come out of the closet and not to be stigmatized. That's the push. Okay. That's what I'm trying to do.
Excellent. That's great and much needed in the community. So we appreciate
Absolutely.
you championing that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So we're here at Nefetari's Fine Cuisine, getting ready to partake of our lunch. Let's talk a little bit about food. What type of food?
I eat too much. I like seafood.
Much?
When I see it, I like it and I eat it. That's why I like seafood.
Seafood.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Never heard of that definition of seafood, but okay, you see food and you like to eat it.
That's my
Any
favorite
particular
food
you like, you see that you like to eat?
I love sweets. I'm just a sweetaholic.
Sweetaholic.
You know, just think if you were a food, Nicole, you would definitely be a dessert.
Oh, would I?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ooh, let me take a drink of
Get a
water
little drink on that, right?
Okay, so.
I mean, you wouldn't be a pig foot or nothing, would you? You couldn't be a neck bone, Nicole. Look at Nicole. You would be a dessert. I mean, you name one. You know, lemon meringue.
Commissioner Proctor,
chocolate,
thank you so much.
You know, chocolate pudding. I mean, banana pudding.
Let's move on to spice. If you could describe your life as a spice, what would it be?
I'm a hot sauce.
A hot sauce.
I'm hot sauce.
Really?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. I'm that spice that gives it that get up, that jump. You know, I'm an agitator.
You're an agitator.
I'm the baking powder.
The baking powder.
I'm the thing that makes the difference. I mean, small. You know, baking powder ain't no more than about a teaspoon, but it makes a whole big cake jump up out the pan.
It
you know?
does.
It's the lightest ingredient in there.
That's
It's the
true.
smallest one, but it's the one that makes the difference. That's who I am.
Okay, very good. Last question before we close out. If, let's see, what's the best advice you've ever either received or given?
My grandmama told me, son, don't start no trouble, but if a hammer knocker crosses your path, take them for a ride. And my grandmama said, shade the ground that you stand on. And I think that that's the best advice she's ever told me. Not to be a see-through guy, cellophane. She said, shade the ground you stand on. And I hope that when I see my grandmother again, that she will look at me and she will smile and she will say, son, you heard me and you lived what I taught you.
Wow, yes, I think you definitely shade the ground in District 1 and throughout all of Leon County, and we thank you for that.
Thank you, Nicole.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Oh, wow. Well, our food is here. So we are going to have to end this conversation for today. Again, Conversations with Nicole. Be sure to like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube.